Plus, he's stuffing the bureaucracy with political pals at bloated salaries. What more we've learned about the governor's closed-door hires. Good evening. Larry Barker blew the doors open.
There was a buzz across the state today about the expose by News 13's investigative reporter. It revealed flagrant abuses of the governor's political hiring powers. And tonight, Ian Schwartz reports there is more, much more.
So you're looking for a job. How about one with no defined duties, no special skills, no minimum requirements, and a fat paycheck? Well, you're not going to find it here in the Help Wanted ads. If you want to land that gig, you're going to have to head to Santa Fe and talk to this guy, Governor Bill Richardson.
Now, Lee Witt was lucky enough to snag one of those unique plum assignments. Her job title, First Lady's Assistant. She works for Bill Richardson's wife, Barbara. But what exactly does she do? Well, we don't know. And what are her qualifications? We don't know that either. But what we do know is that Lee Witt, the First Lady's Assistant, makes $105,000. Now, that's more than Gary Johnson made when he was governor, and it's more than taxpayers pay Attorney General Gary King, who oversees a staff of 181. Who decided how much to pay Lee Witt? Well, the governor did.
You see, Lee Witt's position is one of some 450 policy-making jobs throughout state government that the governor doles out to whoever he wants. The employees are exempt from state personnel rules and serve at the pleasure of the governor.
The average state employee with salary and benefits is $67,000 a year. The average exempt employee with salary and benefits is in excess of $100,000 a year.
The governor's hiring practices are conducted behind closed doors. Lawmakers on both sides of the aisle say the state's bureaucracy is being stuffed with political appointees and bloated salaries that are putting serious strain on the state's already overloaded budget.
This governor is abusing the privilege. This is not the way government's supposed to work.
In November of 2008, to address New Mexico's budget crisis, the governor announced a hiring and pay raise freeze for all state employees. Well, not all. Our investigation found Governor Richardson has blatantly hired, transferred, and given pay raises to more than 100 of his own hand-picked state officials. For example, Transportation Department Public Information Officer Mark Slimp. The governor hired Slimp 8 months after the freeze took effect. Slimp's salary, $85,000 a year.
It appears that the hiring freeze did not apply to the governor's office, and we have an extreme issue of not a freeze when a freeze was called.
The hiring freeze was perceived to be across state government, but the fact of the matter is it's a very, very narrow freeze.
Consider the case of government lawyer Sandra Frank. On the very day the hiring and pay raise freeze took effect, the governor directed the state's General Services Department to give Sandra Frank a job. Not only a job, but a nice $10,000 a year pay raise. Why did GSD hire Sandra Frank?
According to a spokesman, quote, "We were told by the governor's office to hire her, and we did," end quote. The governor's office declined to comment on the Sandra Frank hiring, and so did Sandra Frank.
Zane Reeves taught labor issues at UNM School of Public Administration.
If you say, is this the way government is supposed to work? Evidently, we decided that we wanted to run the public administration, the public agencies with political appointees. And that's the way it is. I don't like the idea at all that they're being told by Politico, what they will pay and who they will hire. That runs counter to the merit system.
For example, Mike Stauffer is Public Information Officer at the Tourism Department. However, he's not a governor's appointee. His salary, $54,000. But compare that to these governor-exempt public information officers. Their salaries for the same job, some $30,000 more.
New Mexico could not afford to make that payment, whether it's during a budget crisis or whether we have additional dollars and surplus of dollars like we've had in the past.
So how does the governor decide who to hire? What about qualifications? And how does the governor decide on salaries? Well, those are all big mysteries, and the governor won't say. As a matter of fact, he's refused our repeated requests for an interview or comment on our investigation. Ian Schwartz, KRQE News 13.
News 13 viewers have been sounding off on Larry Barker's expose all day. Here's what some of you had to say on our website. Joan writes, "Not only am I disappointed in our government, but I'm also disappointed in my fellow citizens that willingly take these positions knowing that they aren't qualified nor are the positions necessary." Diane said neither Richardson nor his appointees care about the state of New Mexico. They have a full wallet while most of us pray we have enough money for gas till the next pay period. And Lost in New Mexico adds, "I am so disgusted that Richardson has the audacity to do this and not even bother to make an official comment." To read all of the comments or post one of your own, go to krqe.com.